Hello and welcome to the last SHU Sports Report of 2016. I'm Aaron Burrell.
And I'm Kyle DeVico. Aaron, Christmas break is right around the corner, and there are only a few games left in 2016.
That's right, Kyle. I'm already thinking of a few New Year's resolutions. Do you have any?
I don't know. I think I might just continue being myself.
Fair enough, fair enough. Before we get into that, we had a few basketball and hockey games this past week, so let's start with those. Last Thursday, the men's basketball team welcomed in-state rivals Yale to the Pitt Center to wrap up a three-game homestand, but fell to the Bulldogs 66-52. Davon Barnett led the Piles with his second double-double in 3 games, scoring 14 points and adding 12 rebounds, while Quincy McKnight and Chris Robinson added 12 and 9 points respectively. On to Sunday, where the Piles were in Pennsylvania to take on the Lafayette Leopards, looking to bounce back. And bounce back is what they did, beating Lafayette 85-61. Offensively, SHU was paced with 6 different players scoring in double figures. Junior forward Joseph Lopez dropped a game-high 14 and grabbed 14 rebounds, while Mate Bujevac and Sean Hone both added 13 points apiece. Chris Robinson, Quincy McKnight, and Charles Tucker Jr. each added 12 points. The win pulled SHU to 5-6 on the season, and they'll be back in action on Sunday when they head up to take on ACC opponent Boston College. Women's basketball had 2 games this past week. Kyle, why don't you get us caught up with that?
Aaron, they had 2 hard-fought contests for their final home games of non-conference play for the 2016-17 season. The Sacred Heart women's basketball team faced off against former Northeast Conference rival Monmouth on this past Thursday. The Hawks jumped out to an early 17-8 lead after the first quarter. The Pioneers fought into the fourth, cutting the Monmouth lead to single digits, 58-51 on Hannah Kimmel's 4th triple of the night. But the Hawks pulled away for the 65-54 win. Kimmel led the Pioneers with 20 points, going 8 for 14 from the field. SHU looked to turn things around on Tuesday night as they hosted another MAC opponent in Siena. In a back-and-forth contest that saw 12 lead changes, Sacred Heart held the advantage as they went into halftime on an 11-6 run to take a 34-29 lead. The Saints came out of the halftime break strong on a 9-point streak to retake the lead 36-34. The Pioneers didn't falter as senior Shelby Hickey ended the drought with a big 3 to cut the deficit to 3 points, 40-37. The Pioneers took hold in the fourth as Adacia Williams recorded 16 of her game-high 22 points in the second half as SHU picked up the 62-58 victory. Williams wrote her name in the record book with her layup at 3:15 in the fourth, becoming the 20th Pioneer in program history to reach the 1,000 career point milestone. The Pioneers begin a 2-game road trip to end non-conference play beginning Sunday at New Hampshire. Aaron, women's basketball was playing with some high energy in their first home win against Siena, along with the excellent play from Adacia Williams.
Let's keep our high energy rolling as we go to Gino Ganello for the 2016's last installment of the Update Corner. Gino?
Thanks, Aaron. Hopefully women's basketball takes the momentum on the road and into conference play. This week on Update Corner, we only have track and field, but the Pioneers had quite a few accomplishments at the 2016 Yale season opener. For the women's track and field team, the Pioneers placed first in 4 events at the Yale season opener. Freshman Jacqueline Thorne took the women's mile with a time of 5 minutes and 12.32 seconds, making that a personal best and worthy of NEC Rookie of the Week, while Kelly Quinn and Sarah Bent also placed within the top 5. Senior Jennifer Hahn captured first place in the women's 5,000 meters with a time of 18 minutes and 11.73 seconds, followed shortly behind by Tara Connolly, who took second. Jacqueline Thorne, Caroline Conte, Maria Schwab, and Kelly Quinn teamed up to take first in the women's 4x800 relay. In the women's pole vault, Sacred Heart had 3 Pioneers in the top 5, with Kirsten Chula taking first. The Pioneers swept the track and field weekly awards. Kate Svensson earned back-to-back Track Athlete of the Week honors, running a personal best 10 minutes, 18.65 seconds in the 3,000 meter. Nicole Bartosh was named Field Athlete of the Week, finishing second in the URI Women's Pentathlon. Her score of 3,556 over the weekend is good for 14th in the nation. Thorne's Rookie of the Week honor came as she claimed the top mile time in the NEC with her victory at Yale and was a part of SHU's winning 4x800 relay team. For the men's team, the Pioneers placed in the top 5 of 11 events. Among those 11 events, Nicholas Pandolfo placed first in the men's mile with a personal best of 4 minutes and 28.39 seconds. And Connor Rogg placed first in the men's 3,000 meters with a personal best of 8 minutes and 27.48 seconds. Rogg earned NEC Track Athlete of the Week for his performance. In both the men's mile and 3,000 meters, SHU placed 2 other finishers in the top 5. In the men's 4x800 relay, Justin Klotz, Nicholas Pandolfo, Sean Kildare, and Jake Tavernite placed second, followed by 2 other Pioneer teams in the top 5. Last but not least, Christian Turner took 3rd place in the men's weight throw. That's all we have for this installment of the Update Corner. Let's send it over to Diana Cannizzaro for an exclusive interview with rugby's assistant coach, Jen Solomon, on this week's Coach's Corner. Diana?
Thanks, Gino. I'm here with the women's rugby assistant coach, Jen Solomon, who recently returned from Barbados after competing in the Flow Rugby Barbados World Sevens tournament. And Jen, thank you so much for joining us. Now, your team is the Northeast Academy, which is a national development academy for USA Rugby. How did you get involved with all this?
Well, over the summer, I played for a sevens team out of New York City, an elite sevens team called O Blue. They've been around for many years. They're a very well-known program for men and women. The women's program actually began a few years back, I think 4 or 3 years ago. One of my best friends played for New Haven, where I currently play for, a 15s club, and he went over to play for Old Blue and was like, you should come play for the women's team. You should try it out. I think you could play at that level. So I went to New York City, commuted 4 hours every 2 or 3 days in the summer to play for Old Blue. And then a lot of the Old Blue players were a part of this academy. They pretty much introduced me to it. I started going to the training sessions over the summer that they had for Northeast Academy, and then pretty much led me here.
Awesome, that's great.
Right.
And what was it like to compete in this tournament in Barbados?
It was my first time in sevens competing at that high performance environment. There was a great talent all over. There were teams from Canada, Scotland, a lot of great U.S. teams. The competition was challenging, to say, but it was just an amazing experience. It was my first time in the Caribbean, my first time traveling out of the country for rugby. Overall, I was just very thankful and grateful to even be there with the academy, of course.
For sure. And specifically, what was it like facing those high-level athletes?
I would say a reality check, pretty much a reality check.
Yeah.
The team that I competed with, it's a selection team, so it was out of a pool of probably around 40 women, and a lot of us have never played together before. So we entered the first game. We didn't do as well as we should have, but each game after that, we improved greatly, and that's obviously because we had to get our chemistry, we needed to mesh, pretty much.
Okay. And how do you take what you learned from playing at both an international level and a club level and put it towards your coaching philosophies for the Pioneers spring season?
Right. So in the academy, we have the head coaches are Stephen Lewis, Tom Fury, and Gary Hibner. And they are amazing. They have tons of experience, and they're super passionate about sharing that with their players. I've learned so much in such a short time in regards to sevens. And drills, everyone there has the same mindset and motivation, and that's exactly what I want to bring here to the program. Every time I go to training sessions, when I get home, I have a notepad that I just write drills that we've learned, concepts, strategies, tactics, that I will definitely implement in the spring, obviously, because I didn't have much sevens experience as a player in undergrad, and I think this will just benefit. Rugby is all about growing the game and spreading the knowledge, so getting and absorbing what I've done in the past 6 months and then bringing it to the players, I think it's going to benefit them greatly, especially it's going to be a different seven season from last year because of all this just knowledge that I'm gaining.
And your team finished 4th out of 10 teams in the 2-day event. How do you feel about their performance?
Like I said before, we started off a little slow, but it just gets better from here. This tournament, obviously, is our first step into the 2017 touring season. So if we just learn what we need to fix as a team, as individuals, and then kind of just push that tournament aside and just look forward, I think we're going to do great things. We have a few big tournaments coming up, and the only way is to move forward. And there's a lot of talent on the team, from lots of experienced players, they're older players, lots of vets. We have young players coming in, so I think if we can put all that together and all the strengths, we can do a lot of damage down the road.
Definitely. Well, good luck with the upcoming tournaments. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, definitely.
You're very welcome. Be sure to check out the women's rugby team when they begin their spring slate in early 2017. But now we're going to send it back to Aaron and Kyle to get us all caught up on the ice.
That's right, Diana. We are jumping from the hardwood onto the ice for a double dose of SHU hockey.
What an action-packed weekend it was for both the men's and women's ice hockey teams as they were home this past weekend. Let's start off with the men's team as they hosted Mercyhurst for a 2-game series. We're going to kick things off Friday at Webster Bank Arena. The Pios were unable to come back after falling down 3-0 early, eventually falling 5-3. Nick Latito, Evan Jasper, and Colton Hansen scored a power play goals for SHU in the loss, while Brett Magnus had 19 saves in net. On Saturday, SHU scored 3 straight goals in the second and third periods to take the 3-2 win in the third annual Jason Pagney Memorial Game at Avon Old Farms on Saturday night. Liam Clare and Justin Danforth both recorded 2 assists, while Jordan Manello scored 1 goal and added an assist. Senior captain Mitch Nyland scored the game-winning goal for the Pios, earning Nyland the Atlantic Hockey Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts. He has recorded a point in 6 straight games, while junior Nathan Perry recorded 27 saves in net for the Pios. The Pioneers will be back in action on Friday, December 30th as they welcome Air Force to Webster Bank for a weekend series.
The Sacred Heart women's ice hockey team picked up a big weekend sweep against Johnson & Wales this past weekend to close out the fall semester. Friday night, SHU opened with a 6-4 victory as sophomore Haley Payne and senior Megan Finley both netted 2 goals and 1 assist to lead the attack. The Pioneers took an early 3-0 lead on 3 big power play goals in the first period, but the Wildcats answered with a 3-goal run of its own to tie it up at 3-3 at 10:15 in the second. SHU rallied for another 3 goals, 2 in the second and 1 in the third, to put the game away. Sacred Heart's offense continued its attack into Saturday's contest, outshooting the Wildcats a staggering 61-10. The SHU defense didn't allow more than 4 shots in a period. Sarah Urban recorded her second shutout of the season in goal for the Pioneers. The Pioneers tallied 2 goals in the afternoon as freshman Olivia Bryant scored on the lead pass from Elizabeth Collins at 3:37 into the game. SHU's second tally came at 7:16 in the third as junior Taylor Moreland put one into the back of the net. The Pioneers returned to action in 2017, traveling to Southern Maine January 3rd through 4th for a midweek series.
And that wraps up our last show for 2016. For all of us here at the SHU Sports Report, happy holidays, and we will see you and the Pioneers in 2017.